And good morning. It's always a pleasure to have Karen Onen with me. She is from the East Central Regional Transportation Coordinating Council. So glad to have Karen in. And we have a special guest this morning, Karen. Why don't you introduce Kelly?
Yes, we're really glad to have Kelly Andersen here from Attaboys Taxi. Why and how and where are you from?
Yes, thank you for having me today. I am from Hinckley, so I'm local. I've been in Hinckley since 2012. And how we ended up with Attaboys Inc. is that we began at Empower in 2017, Empower Recovery Services.
Okay.
It is an outpatient treatment center and also a mental health facility.
Nice.
And my partner Cheryl and I opened up Empower in 2017, and we noticed a problem. The problem was that our clients could not get to their appointments. We were using Attaboys as a service to get our clients to their appointments, and then we noticed that our evening clients were unable to capture those rides. So what we decided to do was to check in with contracting to allow our clients to get to their appointments in the evening hours, and that we would get a van and transport them. So we checked in with the insurance companies. They granted us contracts, and the agreement is that we would transport our clients only.
Okay.
That was the contract agreement. Our evening clients then began to make every session, which really added to their progress. Mm-hmm. We did that for about 3 years. And my husband met the Atterberries, the previous owners of Attaboys, through a training. At that training, the Atterberries had approached Chad and said, "Hey, our business is for sale. You should consider buying it." We considered the idea for about 2 years, and we talked with them back and forth before the purchase. And we went forward with it in July of 2022.
Okay.
And what we ended up doing is, by that time, Empower Recovery had 3 vans. So we merged our 3 with the Attaboys. At that time, I believe they had 18 on the road, bringing us up to 21 vehicles on the road. What we ended up doing was taking the Empower contract and then merging with the Attaboy contract. So now it's all Attaboys.
When you brought all these together, were you able to have enough staffing and everything to cover? Because you cover a pretty broad area, don't you, Kelly?
Yes, we cover the local 5 counties. Not the entire county, but the edges of all of the counties surrounding Pine. When we brought them together, we ended up keeping the current staff that Attaboys had. So we had all of their drivers, and then we brought Chad, my husband, who was the initiator of all of this. He was a driver, and then also we had one additional Empower driver that was working full-time. So the 2 of them joined the Attaboy team.
I know you gave the date, but how long have you had it now, Attaboys?
Yep, 13 months.
Okay, so it's still getting your sea legs, so to speak. And how has it been going overall? Because there has to be a learning curve, I would think, taking on a fairly big area and just the ins and outs of it all.
You know, we weren't expecting such a large learning curve. And so when we got into it, it was, okay, we're just going to keep rolling like we do. It's a smooth running business, Attaboys is. We need to learn how they operate and then take over the reins. We noticed that the way that Attaboys had run was significantly different than us, probably because of the size, and many more drivers to manage, many more rides to manage, many more phone calls to manage. We had to give our team new roles because Randy and Patty, the previous owners, had large roles within the business. And when they sold to us, then we didn't have their manpower anymore.
Sure.
There was quite a learning curve. However, a year in, we're feeling pretty comfortable. 5 months into the ownership, we decided to take away taxi. The Facebook page went away, and there was some reaction to that because people were so used to using the taxi service.
Private pay.
Yes, but due to that learning curve, we had to focus on one area at a time. So medical transport is all transportation that comes through the insurance companies.
Okay.
So we're really zeroing in on that. And just recently, about a month ago, I advertised for taxi drivers again. Oh. We're hoping to build that department again now and begin to advertise and indicate our new hours for taxi.
Wonderful.
But we've got to get some drivers on board first.
So who would be your average client?
Our average client would be an individual who qualifies for medical assistance, and that individual is seeking to get to a doctor appointment, to go grocery shopping, get to the food shelf. This is new. Food shelf transportation and Walmart run transportation is fairly new to the insurance companies. They have decided to add that as a benefit to their members. And with that addition, people who have been unable because of lack of resource, lack of ability to find transportation, now they've been able to get themselves accommodated with their basic needs. Medical assistance, and then any individual who is disabled would also qualify for the medical transportation services. We're working with vulnerable population. So with that being said, there's a lot of training that goes into our drivers. Our drivers are required to have training to understand boundaries, to understand professionalism, to understand how to help someone in an emergency. It's an 8 to 12 hour training that they go through in order to become a driver. So it's a part of our onboarding process. When somebody applies, there's a few things that are required. The first thing would be to pass a background check. Second step would be a DOT physical. Along with that background study, now our fingerprint requirements. So you would make an appointment to get your fingerprints done, and that just goes right along with the background study. Sure. Third step would be getting a driving record. Last would be the STS training course, is what that's called. And we hire a trainer to come to the shop and spend the day. It's all provided as a part of the onboarding process.
And the vehicles driven are your vehicles. It's not like a person is driving their own car.
That is correct. We provide every resource you need to get that job done. We also provide fuel cards to all of our drivers so that they can gas up when they need to gas up. We provide car washes. Everything that they need is taken care of. We also provide them a cell phone.
If someone is listening today, whether they would be interested in becoming a driver, or if they're like, oh, I didn't realize that this was available in the 5 counties, and to find out if this would work for them, same number for each, or what would people to know as far as contacting you, Kelly?
So if anyone wanted to become a driver, the best phone number to call would be 320-245-5355, and that's our medical transportation line. They will reach dispatch through that number.
Sure. And then your website.
It's www.attaboysinc.net. And I guess our primary need at this point, I would like a couple Pine City drivers, and then also looking into Isani County, Cambridge area.
Let me just repeat the number for folks to call, 320-245-5355. And the website is Attaboys with an S. So it's ATTABOYS INC Inc.net.
And Karen, you have your website. With this information will be passed to that as well?
We'll get it all posted at eastcentraltransit.com.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies, so much for your time today. And this update has been brought to you in part by our friends at MnDOT.